Be honest, have you found yourself looking at the Nordas, specifically the Norda 001s, and thinking, are those shoes worth the high price tag? Well, I'm here to tell you after 150 miles, just what my thoughts are and tell you exactly if I think that they are worth the price tag. If you're new to the channel, welcome back. My name is Shannon. I am a full-time working mom with big endurance goals. We're gonna talk a little bit about how they've held up, what my expectations were for them, and how they have performed over time. I purchased these shoes back in December of 2024. I bought and paid for these shoes with my own money, and no one has asked me to make this review. These are my own thoughts. These shoes retailed for nearly $300. I think they came in at $295. This is a smaller brand from Canada. Not cheap by any stretch, but I'm really impressed with the way that they've held up, and I do feel like I've gotten my money's worth out of them. I've used these in all sorts of conditions. I've used them from trail running in Florida, in the sand, roots, mud, all the way up to mountains, hiking, mountaineering, snow, rocks, you name it. They have been all over the place. I want to talk about how they've held up. They've been great. There is no separation on any part of the shoe in terms of where the rubber meets the road, in terms of where the rubber hits the upper. Everything is still intact and there's no stitching coming loose, just a super well-made shoe. I mean, there's some light staining on them. They've been used a ton, so you're gonna see some cosmetic staining taking place, as well as a little bit of creasing on the upper here. I think that that's probably just part and parcel for the material. I also do like bring these shoes in when I'm done running. I don't leave them out in the sun. They also came with this really great dust bag. So after an effort, I will put them in the bag, get them home, get them cleaned up. Obviously, taking care of an investment, you're gonna get a longer return on them. The lugs are still great. These are 5mm lugs. They've maybe worn down like a bit on the sides here, but nothing where I would look at these and be concerned. Like you can see a little bit of wear and tear here at the bottom. The foam still feels nice inside. These shoes do have like an orthotic insert that's been quite nice. These are more of their cushioned shoe in their lineup. So the 001s feature more of that optimally cushioned experience for a longer distance on the trail. They've got some other models that are a bit lighter weight and more, with a bit more ground feel. But these fit the bill for me and what I was looking for. Still pretty cushioned. I still feel the spring inside. These shoes feature this Dyneema upper. It definitely keeps the water out. I've used them in the mud and I've used them in snow and my feet have stayed dry. I also really like the fact that there's this toe cap here. The rubber goes over the toe, so it's gonna offer some extra protection from the elements. Something else I've really enjoyed with these shoes are the laces. I don't know, there's a texture on them that's really nice. They just feel when you tie them that they're not gonna come untied. When I first bought them, I took them out to our clay loop trail, so tested them out for the first time on like hard packed clay and soft sand. These also went with me to New Mexico and my daughter and I went out there. We did a lot of hikes with rock and even snow. I did a lot of weighted pack hikes when I was training for Rainier with these shoes, even on the treadmill, like throwing 40 pounds in my backpack, putting these on and doing some incline hikes on the treadmill. And these felt really good on that surface as well. I've taken them out to both the Wekiva Springs Trail here in Florida and the Black Bear Wilderness Trail. Black Bear features a lot of roots, so you have to be very nimble on your feet out there, and I felt like these held up super, super well. And then Rainier, so while these did not go up the actual mountain with me because we were in boots from the parking lot, we did a lot of hikes around the actual summit day where I did wear these shoes. So these had a chance to hike on, all the trails around Rainier in both dry and wet conditions. I also raced in these shoes when I went to Utah last summer. So I did the Ultra Cirque Series race, and these are the shoes that I wore. Going up, super important to have the grip, but also coming down. I was flying. It felt really good knowing that these shoes were on my feet. Rounding out the big adventures of the year, last year was Colorado back in October. These shoes went up Mount Elbert. They also went up Quandary Peak and other hikes in and around the area. Both of those hikes that I mentioned, those 14ers had snow on them. So I ended up putting on my micro spikes, wrapped right around the shoe, no issue getting them on and off. And again, felt very confident, comfortable. Would love to see it. Also, these went to California with me when I was out there for work, and I ran all the trails in Griffith Park, and they held up wonderfully out there. And lastly, the Crume Zoom race that I did back in January. These were the shoes that I wore for that 20-mile race through the Withlacoochee State Forest here in Florida. I have since switched shoes, so I did want to try to find a shoe that was a bit more cushioned for longer distances. So I did end up purchasing the Salomon Ultra Glide 4s, which I love. I love both of these shoes. I feel like they have a place on my rotation. Maybe this one's a longer distance. I think this one's a longer distance shoe. This is probably a shorter or medium distance shoe or a summit shoe. So I think that these both have found their spot in my rotation, and I will continue wearing them both. You can buy them on Norda's website. I don't know what the local retailers might be. I think REI might carry them. I don't know how many colorways they have. This is the Cinder colorway, and this is the women's shoe. So this is the women's specific model. As far as geometry, I don't know how different it is from the men's shoe. It doesn't really say on the website. I don't know that it's that different, but this is a women's model that I purchased. And I did take my normal size. I usually wear an 8 in street shoes, but I purchase an 8.5 in running shoes always. But let me double check. Nope, these are an 8. I do remember seeing that. They run big. So I went half a size down and it was totally fine. They did have a disclaimer on the site about the sizing. Ah, there it is. It says that they recommend going up half a size from your regular size. So I wonder if that's street shoe. I wonder if they're telling you to go up a size, or half a size, which is pretty typical with running shoes. But again, I am typically an 8.5 in running shoes. Yep, 8. 8 is what I took in the women's shoe. All in all, a great shoe, an investment shoe. I also really like the way they look. I just think that they look different. They're very stylish, which I care about. I mean, if I'm gonna spend my money, I want something that looks good. I get a ton of compliments on these shoes, you guys. Like, everywhere I go with these shoes, whether I'm walking around or I'm going up a mountain, people are asking, what are those shoes? Where did you get them from? They're very different compared to the other types of shoes in this category in the market. I still think that these shoes have a lot more life left. I could see these going, another 100. I'd be interested to see how they start to break down like foam wise. I'm gonna continue running in them and I'll let you guys know if I notice any changes, but hopefully they will just continue to hold up. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Give this video a like if you enjoyed it. It definitely helps the content get out to other people if they're considering purchasing these shoes. Thanks for watching and happy running.